ऊंचाई को, चौड़ाई और गहराई को जानूं प्रभु, बस यही है ख्वाहिश मेरी। तेरी प्रेम की ऊंचाई को, चौड़ाई और गहराई को जानूं प्रभु, बस यही है ख्वाहिश मेरी। घुटनों से ऊंचा, कमर से भी ज्यादा तुझ में डूबूं, यही है ख्वाहिश मेरी। घुटनों से ऊंचा, कमर से भी ज्यादा तुझ में डूबूं, यही है ख्वाहिश मेरी। अपनी याद से भर दे मुझे, अपनी शक्ति से भर दे मुझे, अपने जीवन से भर दे मुझे तेरे काम के लिए। अपनी आग से भर दे मुझे, अपनी शक्ति से भर दे मुझे, अपने जीवन से भर दे मुझे तेरे काम के लिए। घुटनों से ऊंचा, कमर से भी ज्यादा तुझ में डूबूं, यही है ख्वाहिश मेरी। घुटनों से ऊंचा, कमर से भी ज्यादा तुझ में डूबूं, यही है ख्वाहिश मेरी। प्रभु तेरा प्रेम तेरे समा, सहजता सना एक समा, हर हाल में वो कभी बदलता नहीं। प्रभु तेरा प्रेम तेरा समा, रहता सदा एक समा, हर हाल में वो कभी बदलता नहीं। घुटनों से ऊंचा, कमर से भी ज्यादा तुझ में डूबूं, यही है ख्वाहिश मेरी। घुटनों से ऊंचा, कमर से भी ज्यादा तुझ में डूबूं, यही है ख्वाहिश मेरी। घुटनों से ऊंचा, कमर से भी ज्यादा तुझ में डूबूं, यही है ख्वाहिश मेरी। घुटनों से ऊंचा, कमर से भी ज्यादा तुझ में डूबूं, यही है ख्वाहिश मेरी। घुटनों से ऊंचा, कमर से भी ज्यादा तुझ में डूबूं, यही है ख्वाहिश मेरी। घुटनों से ऊंचा, कमर से भी ज्यादा तुझ में डूबूं, यही ख्वाहिश मेरी।
Hi there, hope you have a great day. As we know that we all are going through a challenging times. Time like this, the best thing that we can do is to turn to God and asking for His protection. Unless the Lord protect us, there's nobody to protect us. There is nothing can stop this kind of pandemic that's going around us. But remember, Jesus who saved us is much more than able to protect us and guide us through any crisis or any difficult situation, because there is nothing beyond God's control. There is no power that cannot be resisted or stopped by God. There is no situation you go which is beyond God's presence or God's ability. So a time like this, we have to press on and carry on doing what God has called us to do. It is true, these COVID times are going to be a time things get redefined. A lot of things are going to be different. A lot of jobs are going to go away. A lot of new jobs are going to be created. And the way we do things, the way we live is going to change. It's like 9/11. Before 9/11, the terrorist attack in America, we had a different lifestyle, But after 9/11, our lives changed. The way we fly, the way we travel, lots and lots of things have changed. So this COVID time is going to bring a real change. It's not going to be the same again. But the challenge in the midst of it is that we carrying down what God has called us to do. In the Gospel of John chapter 9, Jesus said, I must do the work of the one who sent me while it is day. Darkness is coming where no man can work. So what I have to do now, I should do now. And if I don't do it now, maybe later I may not be able to do. Or maybe what I am supposed to do now may not be relevant later. Or maybe somebody else God raised to do it and I miss my reward. So, whatever God has called us to do, whatever the work that God has assigned, we must do no matter what condition it is. If you delay what God has asked you to do now, probably you make things more difficult and you may even lose that opportunity. The lost opportunities never come back. So we as God's people, as children of God, we must learn to carry down every opportunity, every chance that God brings into our life. And we should not miss what God has planned for our life. I want to take your attention to the book of Joshua, chapter 1 today. It's about God appointing Joshua as a leader. He says, be strong and courageous, for you will distribute the land I swore to their fathers and gave them as an inheritance. So God is telling Joshua, be strong and courageous to carry down the work that I promised I will do it. Now, it's good to look at a little bit of history behind. Moses was a great servant of God, man who saw God face to face and who received the 10 Commandments, stone tablets, which is written by God himself. And he was called as the meekest man on the face of the earth. God referred him as a friend. God loved him. And he was a great guy, great leader. And he performed 10 powerful miracles and led the people out of the slavery. And then they crossed the Red Sea, and stretching of his rod divided the Red Sea into two. And he led people through the wilderness, and as they were traveling through wilderness, he had the glory of God, literally the presence of the glory of God. In the day it worked like a cloud where they are protected from the heat. In the night it was like a fire. It protected them from the cold. And Moses was a great guy who's seen great things, done great things, but he could not enter into the promised land. And when I read the life of Moses, one of the things I learned is that no matter how great you are, you may not be able to do everything. There are certain things you may not be able to do. Now, even if after the Moses' death, God still considered Moses as a great man, even when Jesus was on the mountain of transfiguration, the two guys who came to talk to Jesus, or Jesus was talking, it was Elijah and Moses. And throughout the Bible, you'll see Moses a great man, but Moses could not complete the work due to some kind of mistakes from his life, some kind of disobedience, overacting. And though he was a great guy, he could not take people into the promised land. And he only got to see the promised land, he could not enter. And Moses died. When you read this portion, it starts saying that my servant Moses is dead. Moses is gone. And then God said, now you have to lead these people. Now Joshua got into the shoes of Moses which is a big shoes for him to wear. Because Moses is a great guy. Joshua was known as a servant of Moses, cupbearer of Moses. He was not great under Moses, but God chose Joshua to be the next leader. The main reason is that Joshua was a servant of Moses. The title God gave to Joshua is that Joshua, the servant of Moses. Now, serving under a man of God is the greatest blessing that you can ever have. You do not know what God has for you as you serve under a man of God. There is a pastor in England, in London, called Colin Dye. I heard one of his sermon. In one of the sermon he was saying, my name is Colin Dye, that means I'm calling to die. And he said, I came to this church called Kensington Temple with a heart to serve God. I served, I did everything. Whatever job came, I did everything. Finally, I don't know what happened. I found myself sitting in the chair of a senior pastor, and if I look back, I really don't know how it happened. These are the very words of Colin Dye, a great speaker. And so what I'm trying to say is that serving under a man of God is a honor. Even if that man of God is wrong, you still continue serving God. The problem today in many churches, if you're a little bit smart guy, you find faults in the pastor. Either you shift the church or you go and start your own church. See, anything that you start in disobedience to God, at the end, it brings death. Anything that you started in the flesh, you don't expect the Spirit of God to support you. Some people went on doing things their own and they become really big and then they crashed and never got up again. So, obedience is the key quality that God looks from us. It's not about how much you achieved, it's about how obedient you are to God. So the title that Joshua has is Joshua, the servant of Moses. It's a privilege to be in a born-again church and to serve God under a pastor. Look at Eli. Bible says when Samuel was growing in the house of God, Eli lost hearing the voice of God. Word of God was very rare in those days in the land of Israel. And the sons of Eli was ungodly boys. They were committing adultery in the temple. They were doing sacrilege. Like they were defying the Lord's sacrifices. Whenever there was a sacrifice take place, they send their servants, and their servants will bring their fork and pluck out whichever piece of meat they like, and no priest could say anything to them because they were unruly, undisciplined boys. As a result, God disfavored and they all died. But Bible says, but Samuel grew in the presence of God. He served God under the leadership of Eli. He never turned to question Eli about his wrong practices because his eyes were on God. Eli's sons were committing adultery. He never went around talking to people in the temple or church. Said, look, what is this pastor doing? Look at his children's shape. You know, a lot of people in the church sometimes get into gossiping about pastor's wife, pastor's children. Some people leave the church because of that. You know, our eyes should be always on God, and we have to serve God wherever God has placed us. Under Eli, Samuel grew in the presence of God, and he did become the greatest prophet. There was no prophet before or after him like Samuel. Bible says Samuel used to go to sleep in the presence of God before the light went out. Samuel served God regularly, even when the priest, the man of God, lost the vision. Even his children committed adultery. Even the same thing you can see in the life of David. David served God under King Saul. All that King Saul wanted to do is to kill David. All that David wanted to do is to obey God. Because he was walking in obedience to God, Saul could never kill him. David was never caught by Saul, whereas Saul was caught by David. Once David cut the hem of Saul's garment, later David regretted for that. He said, I have touched the anointed man of God. So, what I'm trying to say, wherever God placed you under a man of God, serve God faithfully. Don't find fault in your leaders. Wherever God's placed you, stay there till God asks you to move. Leaving church is a sin. You should be where God planted you. Unless until God speaks, never change the church. That you must conform with the pastor. You know, sometime back, years back, one guy came and said, God told me to leave this church. I'm going to another church. I said, you've been here for 10 plus years. God told me to look after you. And I looked after you, baptized you, loved you, I cared for you. How come God told you to leave and God never told me that you are leaving? Oh, I go to release you. I get too worried about people who talk too much about God told me. Many a time, people who talk too much God told me is more of their own mind and their own convenience rather than God Himself. Remember, when you remain where God has planted you, that's where God commands His blessings. You are not supposed to move from where God placed you without His approval. When the children of Israel was traveling through the wilderness, they move according to the cloud moves. The cloud moves, they move. The cloud remain, they remain. They remained under the Shekinah glory of God. They did not move their own. So when you look at the life of Joshua, Joshua was a man of God. He served under Moses. He was known as a servant of Moses. Finally, Moses died. And God appeared to Joshua and said, my servant Moses died. Now you are going to be the leader. And God said, from this end to that end and this end to this end, this land you're going to conquer. You have to divide and give it to people. And God said one more thing. No man shall be able to stand against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, I will be with you. I will not leave you nor forsake you. Amen. I love that verse. I prayed through that many, many times. You know, God stand with me. God stand with me. God stand with me. You know, God said to Joshua, no man shall be able to stand against you all the days of your life. What a great promise. What a great confidence you can have when you have that word. And as I was Moses, I will be with you. I will not leave you nor forsake you. So Joshua was a servant boy. God appointed him to the next king, next leader of the children of Israel. The verse 6 says, be strong and courageous. You will execute the work. The title of today's sermon is that be courageous to carry down what God asks you to do. Don't look at your own limitations or your failures. Don't look at who is with you. Don't look at your background. You may be known as a servant of Moses. You may be known as a yes man of your pastor. Or you may not be very clever or wise. But if there is a calling of God upon your life, just obey it. So God said to Joshua, be strong and courageous to carry down the mission that I gave it to you. We all need to have the courage to do what God has called you to do. When God asks you to do certain things in life, don't look for any man's approval. Don't look for what can you get out of it. Don't look at the salary. Don't look at who supports you. Don't look at who is against you. As long as God is with you, you are going to be a winner. So God knew that Joshua can be frightened. Joshua can be worried and nervous because he's going to face a crowd who is used following a servant, a leader who is much taller than Joshua. Man, Moses, he had a big credibility. His credibility is skyrocketing. I mean, it's huge. He see God face to face. His face was radiating with the God's glory. He received the Ten Commandments written by God in his hand, and he was a big guy. He was a big leader. Now, Joshua was a servant of him. So God knew Joshua will be nervous and worried. If you read chapter 3 of Joshua, God said to Joshua, now the time I'm going to perform a miracle, and where everyone will see you are my man and God is with you. And he made them to divide. He made Joshua to divide the Jordan and take the people through it. So God knew that he will be scared, and God said, be strong and courageous. You will conquer the land and you will distribute the land. God give us responsibility which is far beyond our capacity. God doesn't work with you according to your ability. God works with you according to availability. God is not busy in fulfilling your desires. Of course you do that, but God is busy in fulfilling his plans in your life. The fun is that when I obey the plan of God, when you and I walk with the plan of God, we always become successful. We always become successful. Later part when you read, God said, be strong and courageous. Again he said, and God said, book of the Lord shall not depart from your mouth. You shall meditate it all day and night. Remember, wherever you go, you will be successful. Verse 9 says, haven't I commanded you? Go therefore. When you read the book of Joshua, Joshua really completed the work. He went in, conquered the land, divided, gave it to everyone. On the last chapter, Joshua stand in front of people and say, look, I have done what God asked me to do. Now you make up your mind. You choose what you want to do. Do you want to serve the God of that side? Do you want to serve the God who saved you, whom I serve? And Joshua said, as for me and my family, we will serve the Lord. So Joshua finished the work, and he came to the end of his life, and he told people, look, I done what God has asked me to do. Now you make up your mind. You can go back to the old gods, or you can serve the God, the true God who saved you. But as for me and my family, we will serve the Lord. Sometimes, success is dangerous. You will see a lot of people failed because they are too successful. But in terms of Joshua, in the case of Joshua, he remained faithful to God. How many of you are ready to remain faithful to God? Irrespective of what happened, no matter what is the situation, you put your hope and your faith in God and God alone. And you plug yourself to God and say, God, you are the power that makes me work. You are the one I want to obey. I want to follow your footsteps. Whatever you say, wherever you lead, that's where I want to go. Have the courage to carry down what God has called you to do. Be courageous to do what God has called you to do. God said, be strong and courageous, and you will do. I encourage each and every one of you to carry down the mission that God has for you. Whether people are for you or against you, it's immaterial. Just continue doing God's work. Continue serving God. Believe that God will make you successful. God will not abandon you. God will not forsake you. God will make you a great person. God will do amazing things for your life, which you do not know. All that you need to do is that have faith in Him. Be strong and courageous to carry down the work that God has planned for your life. How many of you are going to say, I will obey God irrespective of what happens? I will do what God asked me to do, even if I see no evidence of progress. Bible says those who go on sowing in tears shall reap in joy. Sometimes we go on serving God, go on doing good works, even though we don't see any result, even though we feel people are rebellious and ungodly and people are attacking you and saying all kinds of evil against you, keep doing good works. You know, Joshua had seen how much rebellion Moses had to put up with. Joshua has seen the hand of God. Joshua was probably worried, oh God, Moses cannot manage these people. You think I can manage? So when God said that you are going to lead, there are a lot of worries and concerns in Joshua's mind. But God said, be strong and courageous to carry down the work I gave it to you. Listen, I will be with you till the end of the age. Like I was with Moses, I'll be with you. Be strong, be courageous. Don't turn to left or right. Don't be anxious. I will be with you. And later when you read the Bible, God confirmed to the public people that Joshua is his man. As you study further, the last chapter, Joshua completed the work. Where Moses failed, Joshua won. Sometimes you may be very strong and you don't make it, but some weak people make it. And then Joshua said, look guys, this is not my ability, it is God who done it. You choose what you want to do, but as for me and my family, we will serve the Lord. How many of you want to say that? As for me and my family, we will serve the Lord. No matter what is the situation, we will continue doing what God asks us to do. We'll not turn to left or right from it. We'll be faithful in following the footpath of Jesus. As you're listening to me today, will you make a commitment that you will follow Jesus, irrespective of what comes? You may see discouragement by your leaders not doing right. You may feel disheartened by people's lukewarmness or hypocrisy or lying or sinful nature. You may feel like there is no one to follow. I'm all alone. You may feel weak. You may feel you're not as great as other people. Doesn't matter. As long as you're willing to obey, God can create everything out of nothing. God can bring beautiful things out of your life. So cheer up, my friend. Be blessed. Be encouraged. God who started a good work in you will never leave it undone. Philippians chapter 1 verse 6. The God who started a good work in you will complete on the day of Christ. Jesus who saved you from your sin and sickness and disease, He is not going to abandon you halfway saying that, sorry, I can't carry you. He will complete the work. Make it a point to be strong and courageous, to obey everything that God spoke over your life. God bless you. See you again. Hi there. El Shaddai has been working in the field of women and children. We are basically helping the children who are at risk. We run children's homes, shelters, community centers, salam schools, non-formal schools, and various kinds of healthcare program for the children who are deprived. 1 out of every 2 child is anemic, and 1 out of 4 adolescent girls are getting married, forced to marry before the age of 15, and 30 out of 100 girls don't even finish the primary school, those who go to the primary school. So we have a very grim situation when you travel in the villages and in the remote areas, even in the urban areas, in the slums. People live in a very, very pathetic condition. They don't have anything as basic. We have a government, they are doing work, but the hands of the welfare is not reaching to the people who lives in villages and the poor areas. Some of you are listening to me, you've been supporting the charity over the years, and we are truly grateful for your support. Your support enabled us to do what we are doing. Without your support, it's just not possible what we are doing. So much of money every month we have to spend for the welfare of the children, food, shelter, clothing, stuff. All this happened just because people like you, all those who've been supporting in the past. I just want to say a big thank you for your support. We are truly grateful for what you do. And if you're a person who has not been supporting in
and you are listening to me, I encourage you to sign up to sponsor a child. It costs 2,000 rupees in Indian rupee or 20 pounds. It gives future for another child. There are a lot of children are waiting for someone to come in to support. We got to thank God that we have a life where we can sit in a nice place and talk, we have a nice house to live. I believe that we all need to show a little bit of act of kindness to these people who are somehow less fortunate.